So I'm going to do just a quick video just to show how you can make a plate with some natural pieces to make a pattern. I've got some chopsticks and a rolling pin and a knife, preferably not a sharp knife, any kind of knife, and a bit of an old store card that you can cut up. So I'm going to start off with a small ball of clay and roll out an amount. So I'm going to just give it a bit of a roll, and I'm turning it around as I do so I can keep a nice round shape. But I'm also going to turn it over so that I'm not stretching it all in one direction. You can roll this out onto a wooden board or onto a tea towel or a piece of fabric. You want a surface that isn't sticky so that the clay doesn't get stuck to it. So the chopsticks are here to help me keep a nice thickness of the clay so that it doesn't get too thin. They can just be used as a guide, just to tell you that you've not gone too thin with the clay. Okay, so then the card is to help compress the surface. So you want to do that just to stop it from cracking or curling as it dries. And you can just use it to press fairly firmly, stroking the clay in a few different directions, and that just helps to make sure the clay won't curl too much as it dries, although it always does a bit. I'll just turn it over and do the other side. You want to try not to stick your fingers in it too much to make a dent in the clay. So try and use the palms of your hands to pick it up so that you can sort of gently turn it over without too much sort of fingerprints. So there we are. I've got a nice smooth surface for my plate. It's not very round yet, but it will be. It will get cut into a nice round shape. Okay, so I'm just going to make some decoration in it. So what you can do is you can press and roll things into the clay to make different decorations. You want to make sure they're not too thick, so that they'll actually kind of cut through the clay. This is the stem of this feather is a little bit thick, and that would kind of cut too much of a groove into the clay. So you want something that's kind of nice and thin. This is really nice. This was found up on the downs, and it's just little seed heads, and these nice sort of thin bits at the top will make a nice pattern. So I'm just going to break some off, put them here. If you don't have anything like this, you can use rice and lentils, or anything that's sort of natural material that you can roll in. And it does, if it's natural, like rice and lentils or flowers or leaves, it doesn't matter if they stay stuck in the clay because they'll just burn away when it's fired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly roll these in. And because they're quite thin, they're not going to go all the way through the clay, they'll just make a nice indent on the surface. You can either leave them there, or if you want to, you can ping them out. And like I said, it's left the little seed heads, but that doesn't matter because they'll just burn away when it's fired. I'll pull those away. And that's left quite a nice little pattern. You can also use things like poppy seed heads that will make little designs that you can use to stamp in. You can make squiggles with string. You can use anything that you find around the house, you can use to make interesting designs. So now I'm going to cut the plate shape And you can either put a little plate over it to make a nice round plate, or you can have a nice wobbly rim, which I quite like. So I'm just going to cut roughly and not worry about it being really round. I'm going to go for that sort of rustic look. Join up those lines. There we go. Now you can pull away clay from the outside. So we've got a little bit of a flat, chunky line. So what I want to do is kind of make that into a nice thin rim. So just with the side of my thumb, I can just go round, and I'm just putting a bit of light pressure on the sides, and it's just thinning that rim a little bit and smoothing it out so that you've got this really nice finished look edge to it. I can just run my finger around, and that finishes it off looking nice. So you can have a nice flat plate like that, or if you've got something that you can lay it into, you can put it into another plate or a bowl to give it a bit of shape. So I'll show you that in a second.